Password managers are offline software or online service plus software that keep all your passwords and input them into login forms to log in. I agree that using a password manager is a way like putting all your eggs in one basket, and there's a reason for that. When you keep all your login data in one place, any attacker who successfully compromises your password manager at once gets the access to all your accounts. At first glance, this may seem too risky, but don't make hasty conclusions. The actual risk in this case is far less than if you reuse one password across multiple sites, because in this scenario you're relying on multiple services keeping your data safe. Compromise one of them, and all the other are compromised as a result. There are two major types of password managers. Most of them today keep your passwords in the cloud storage. Others keep your passwords in the local database on your device. The first, cloud-based type, syncs your passwords and gives you the convenience of accessing your login data from any device at any time. But in this case, the actual database file isn't under your direct control. A local store on your laptop or a removable USB device gives you a much more controllable and centralized cloud password storage, but can significantly limit convenience of accessing your stored password, especially on your mobile devices. I should note that the risk of using a cloud-based password manager isn't as great as it may seem. These services use SSL for transferring data, and your data being encrypted with AES, and they usually have no idea what your master password is. That means that they have no access to your private data. So technically, cloud-based services are secure, and even if a cloud service becomes for any reason unavailable, in this case, the way out may be keeping an offline encrypted backup of your password database, for example, in a local client. Local clients store your encrypted password database on the device from which you're accessing them, be it a laptop or a mobile device. This gives you total control over your data, but what happens if you lose the device that runs your local password manager? Not a problem if you have the same database on multiple devices or a backup copy stored somewhere. What is even more important, besides the possibility not to remember all the long and complicated passwords by yourselves, are the two great features that make for strong protection: the ability to generate random and complex passwords, and the ability to automatically log the user into the service using those passwords, so you don't even have to know what the password is. In that case, the only password that needs to be long, strong, and complex is the master password, because at the same time it is the encryption key for the password database, and the encryption is the most important part, because it is comparatively easy to steal the media and the database, but it is actually doesn't matter because it is the encryption that makes it secure even if exposed. It's possible to strengthen your password database even further. Some password managers allow for double encryption or even the use of biometrics. The other great function of almost every password manager is passwords autofill. It makes much harder for an attacker or malware to capture the login data because you don't actually type in your passwords, so there's no way to capture the keystrokes. And the fact that you do not need to remember all your passwords also adds some comfort. Also, using password managers, it is very important to consider the risk of others taking a sneaky peek at them. To prevent this, you can go to configuration options and reduce your PC or laptop lockdown timeout to as short period as possible, or at least to the shortest comfortable period, because defaults can vary up to half an hour, leaving too much chance that your screen will be read while you're away from your device. A good rule is to always lock your computer when you are leaving it behind, and much better will be to take it with you even if we are talking about a laptop. This becomes particularly relevant with mobile devices. Always opt for the minimum timeout and set your software to automatically lock the vault when you switch between applications or go into sleep mode or lock the screen. Also change the settings of your password manager to display as little information as possible. Most of them allow you to hide your login and password with bullets or stars. Although there are dozens of password managers, there are some of today's most popular solutions. Just to give you an idea where to start. LastPass. LastPass uses an Access Anywhere server-based storage model. The free version provides basic functionality including one-click login, automatic form filling, cross-browser synchronization, and secure password generation. RoboForm is one of the most flexible vault services around. It's available in a limited functionality free version, providing an encrypted password store for 10 logins and an autofill function. But for unlimited logins, you'll need the desktop version with a paid plan. The open source KeePass project offers advanced tweaking options that make it suitable to enterprise use, but is also straightforward for consumers and it's free. KeePass is primarily a local client and it supports YubiKeys for two-factor authentication and a staggering number of platforms including Linux. Since it's open source, there are also a ton of third-party plugins available to add features. I personally use KeePass on my Mac, on my Windows PC, and on my iPhone. One of the most secure and convenient password managers out there is the Dashlane. Generally, you may use almost all Dashlane functions for free, but the main limitation there is that free version doesn't support the cloud sync. So if you store all your passwords on your laptop, you don't have these passwords on your mobile device or any other PC. However, you can opt in for manual export and import sessions. The paid price is rather pricey, but I personally like how Dashlane is done, how it works, and all the security hints and tips it gives to the user. Please refer to the next text lecture in this section to have more information about the most popular password managers out there.